The council chamber of the unified galactic concord was built to intimidate. Its ceiling stretched 100 meters high, vaulted arcs of shimmering alloy, lined with pulsing conduits of pale blue quantum light. Representatives from 500 worlds filled the tiered seats, murmuring with agitation. The atmosphere tasted of unease and ozone. At the center of all, under a single harsh spotlight, knelt Commander Valkar of the Zhur Dominion, bound in grav shackles. Zhur warriors never knelt. Yet here he was, trembling. The council high speaker, a translucent winged HFY, leaned forward. "Commander Valar," she said, her voice trembling between fury and fear. "For clarity of record, state again what you just told this chamber." Valkyar swallowed, mandibles clicking in panic. We invaded Earth." Silence fell like a physical blow. Then roars, hisses, and panic bursts of radiostatic speech erupted across the hall. Some representatives recoiled, as if expecting a human fleet to descend on them that instant. Others simply stared in disbelief, as though the statement itself defied sanity. The high speaker raised a hand for silence. "You invaded Earth?" Her tone cracked under the weight of the words. "You attacked the humans of your own accord?" Valkyar's crest sagged. "Why, yes." "Why?" whispered someone from the Gore delegation. The question rippled outward until every species repeated it. "Why? Why would anyone provoke them?" The Dominion commander's voice strained. "We believe the humans were vulnerable. Their world was isolated. Their fleet was small. Their transmissions indicated a divided species. We saw opportunity." The chamber erupted again. A Calarian war priest slammed all 6 fists on the table. "Fool! Even isolationist humans are still humans." The high speaker's voice sliced through the chaos. "Order! Commander, explain exactly what happened." Valkyar squeezed his eyes shut. "It began 3 lunar cycles ago. The humans detected the Dominion fleet 6 minutes after it entered their system. 6 minutes. No species in recorded history had managed that. They hailed us immediately. One message, in every known galactic language, even languages we thought were extinct. The message was simple: turn back. Our fleet admiral laughed. He believed humans were bluffing. After all, our intelligence files showed they had barely a dozen functional warships. Their energy output looked inefficient, primitive even. Their reactors spiked with radiation signatures we had never seen in optimized systems. We launched our first volley toward their orbital defenses. They did not fire back. They simply said, "This is your final warning." The Admiral ordered a full strike. We descended toward their planet. Then humanity responded. The commander's voice cracked. A single human vessel appeared between our fleet and the planet. The high speaker frowned. "One vessel? What kind?" "A ship of unknown classification. Human in construction. Angular. Ugly. A patchwork of armor plating and exposed architecture. Some areas looked burned, welded, re-welded, and reinforced with materials that did not match any industrial standard. It looked improvised." "And this improvised ship stop your invasion?" A counselor scoffed. Valkyar's mandibles twitched violently. "It didn't just stop us. It destroyed 64 Dominion warships in 37 seconds. Gasps echoed. Species without vocal cords emitted electromagnetic bursts of shock. Even the high speaker paled. "Explain," she ordered. "What weapons did it use?" We don't know." The commander's voice trembled. "We could not track them. We could not perceive them. Projectiles appeared inside our hulls without any travel time. Energy bursts struck our shield from angles that defied geometry. The ship moved in ways that violated inertia. It rotated without turning. It vanished from sensors even while visibly present. Our AI cores collapsed under the data load, registering paradox after paradox. The high speaker's wings fluttered in horror. What designation did the humans give such a vessel? The commander exhaled, defeated. "They called a test ship." The chamber erupted anew. "A test ship?" a Graf noble wheezed. "A prototype? Experimental? Training model? And it dismantled an armada?" Valkyar nodded weakly. "It was crewed by 8 humans. Only 8. A hush fell so deep even ventilation systems seemed to hold their breath. The high speaker leaned forward. "What did the humans do after destroying your fleet?" Valkyr shook. "They hailed us, and they asked if we wanted to talk." Some representatives choked in disbelief. The high speaker closed her eyes. "Humans, always unpredictable. We attempted a counterattack," the commander whispered. The entire chamber groaned. "You what?" The high speaker snapped. "Our admiral believed the human vessel had exhausted its resources. He believed humans, as a species, were fragile. He believed we could not return home defeated." The high speaker's voice softened to something like pity. "Your admiral was thinking like every other species. Humans do not think like us. We know that now." Valkyr whispered. "We launched a desperate assault. Then Earth responded again." "How?" A dozen voices asked simultaneously. The commander took a long breath. "They activated something in orbit, something they keep there, something enormous." He shivered. "They call it Project Sleeping Giant." The high speaker stiffened. She had heard the rumors. Every species had. A myth whispered in war rooms. A warning passed among fleets. Never make humanity take something out of storage. "Describe it," she ordered. The commander's eyes were haunted. A colossal ring, thousands of kilometers wide, dormant until that moment. Energy surged across its frame, power signatures beyond anything recorded. Then space tore open. Representatives recoiled from the implication. A spatial rift? A wormhole? A weapon? "We don't know," Valkyr rasped. But from that rift emerged ships. Human ships. Hundreds of them. Each larger than anything in Dominion records. They were not sleek. They were not beautiful. They were pragmatic, brutal, built with purpose, built for war. How many? Enough to blot out our sensors. Enough to surround our entire fleet in seconds. Enough to make our admiral surrender before a single shot was fired. Silence endured for a long moment. The high speaker whispered, "What did the humans do then?" The commander swallowed. "They boarded our flagship." "To kill your admiral?" "No," his voice broke. "To help." Confusion rippled through the chamber. "Help?" the high speaker echoed. "Explain." "Our ship was burning. Life support failing. Humans breached the hull in sealed suits. They stabilized our wounded. They extinguished fires. They repaired structural damage we didn't even know how to fix. Then they apologized." "Apologized?" a counselor repeated in disbelief. "They said they were sorry things escalated." Valkyr said, "They said conflict was never their intention. They offered us safe passage home. They even refueled our ships, using fuel sources we have never encountered, but which improved our reactor efficiency by 20%. The high speaker's wings drooped. "Humans," she whispered. "The only species that terrifies the galaxy, not because of their power, but because of what they choose to do with it. While we fled," the commander continued softly, "I asked their captain why they spared us." "And what did he say?" Valkyr closed his eyes, hearing the words again in his mind. He said, "You invaded Earth, but we don't hold grudges. Everyone makes mistakes. What matters is what happens next." The chamber was silent, truly silent, until the high speaker finally spoke. "And what does happen next, Commander?" Valkyr lowered his gaze. "They asked for peace." The room trembled with awe. "Peace?" "Yes, on one condition." Delegates leaned forward. "What condition?" Valkyr looked up, fear and wonder mixing in his eyes. "That we tell our story to the Council. That we warn the galaxy. That we ensure no one else makes the same mistake." He exhaled shakily. "Humans do not want war, but they will end any war brought to them." The high speaker nodded slowly. "That is consistent with every report about them." Valkyr shook his head. "No, you don't understand." "Explain." His voice trembled. "They told us the ship that destroyed our fleet, the test ship, yes, was not advanced." Shock rippled through the chamber. "Not advanced." "Compared to the ships that emerged from the rift, compared to the vessels waking inside that orbital ring, They said it was their old model, something they were replacing. A cold silence clenched the room. Valkar whispered the final truth. The humans said they hope no one ever forces them to deploy their real fleet. The high speaker rose, voice reverberating through the chamber. Let this stand as record and warning. Humanity is not to be provoked. They are not to be underestimated. And above all, they are not to be awakened. Every representative nodded. Every species understood. And across the galaxy, a quiet message began to spread, gentle, courteous, almost humble in phrasing, yet sharp enough to split worlds. Do not invade Earth.